Okay, question number 5. The graph shows the cost C of hiring a circular saw from Branch Tool Hire for a number of days D. So we're given the costs on the vertical axis and the number of days is on the horizontal axis. Circle the correct formula for the cost C. Well, if we look at our line straight away, we can see that it cuts the vertical axis at £16. So there is an initial charge to pay for this circular saw of £16, which means that we can immediately get rid of this formula because we know that that doesn't have an initial charge. That will cut the axis at 0. This one will cut at £24, so that's not the right line. This one is £16 for every day plus £8 initial charge. We can get rid of that one, so straight away we can circle this one, and that means that the cost is equal to £8 for every day plus 16. Now let's just check whether that is right or not. Let's pick 6 days here. So when D is equal to 6, the cost is equal to 8 times 6 plus 16. 8 times 6 is 48 plus 16. 48 at 16 is £64 for 6 days. So that is £64 that we've got there for 6 days, and that's correct. 60, 62, 64. So we've got our correct formula. Now 5 part B, so the cost of hiring a circular saw from Wood's Tool Hire is given by the formula C is equal to 9D plus 11. So that's £9 for every day plus an initial charge of £11. Sam thinks that Wood's Tool Hire is always cheaper. Is this true? Let's just remind ourselves as the cost is equal to 8D plus 16 for Branch. Now, Sam thinks that Wood's is always cheaper. If we can prove that it's ever the same, that will mean that we can answer no. So, they pay the same amount of money when 9D plus 11 is equal to 8D plus 16. Now I chose to write my formulas with the 9D on the left hand side, so I've got my bigger number of days on the left hand side. I'm now going to solve that by eliminating this 8D on the right hand side. So I'm going to subtract 8D from both sides, which will leave me 9D take away 8D is 1D. Do nothing to my numbers, which is 11. 8D take away 8D, that disappears, and I'm left with 16. Next thing I want to do is to target my 11 on the left hand side, the opposite of adding 11. If I take away 11, it will bring that number down to 0, but leaving with D is equal to 16, take away 11, D is equal to 5. So on 5 days, they pay the same amount of money. So my answer here is no. Let's just check that. On 5 days here, my cost is going to be 9 times 5 plus 11. So 9 times 5 is 45 plus 11 is £56 at Woods. Let's just check it at Branch. The cost is equal to 8 times 5 plus 16. 8 times 5 is 40 plus 16, £56 at Branch. So we've just shown that the cost is the same amount for 5 days. Now if we look back, we could do this question by choosing different days. If we chose for 6 days at Woods, the cost would be equal to 9 times 6 plus 11. 9 6 is 54 plus 11 is £65. So at Woods it's £65 for 6 days, and if we refer back to our graph, we can see that we showed here that 6 days that Branch was £64. So Woods was £65, which was more expensive. So that again shows that Woods is not always cheaper. And we answered no.